Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'd like to introduce you guys to a company called Blackdot. They have developed what they call a new way to tattoo in the form of a robot that can perform like a very decent looking tattoo on the skin. It's more of a robotic arm than anything that they have at this point, but I think it's quite interesting that seeing all the improvements that are happening in the field of robotics, and you can see what Tesla is trying to release in Optimus One, and there's a lot of other companies that have joined this race to create humanoid robots. I even recently saw that China is planning to release their first fleet of usable service robots. So it's obvious that a company like Black Dot would definitely benefit from these advancements. And for specifically tattooing, we may see robots that might be coming into the space in the not too distant future. So things are about to get a lot more competitive, even though they are already competitive. And the point of this video is not like a doom and gloom, it's more of an awareness of what's happening and how to sort of like safeguard your livelihood if tattooing is what you depend on for a living, as most of us already do. And I think it's locking in on trying to get your client base, get a personal relationship with your client base, and make sure that you improve the quality of your work to make people desire getting tattooed by you. So social media is helping a lot of newer artists and artists who understand that that's now a very important aspect of getting work into the shop. I ended up getting a copyright strike from YouTube because I was trying to show a Shark Tank episode where the CEO of Black Dot went on there to try and get funding. Unfortunately, he couldn't get the funding because he was a bit earlier on and had not developed his product into to a point where it was an actual like service that had revenue and things that an investor would want to make an investment seemed to have been lacking. He hadn't yet developed a proper business model, but the technology was quite impressive.
My name is Kenya. I'm here in Austin, Texas. Just got my first black dot tattoo. The process was pretty straightforward. There was a lot of communication throughout. This machine is incredible. The whole situation was really amazing. The pain level for getting the tattoo was very low. Probably a 2 on the pain scale if I had to guess, and I'm actually not in any discomfort right now. It was a great experience. I have literally never seen a tattoo this detailed before, so it's probably pretty obvious. I'm very happy with what I got, and I'm very pleased with Black Dot. It was an amazing experience, and I was really glad for the opportunity. I got the Corinthian from Omer Tunka's Orders of Antiquities collection, and I couldn't be more pleased. I really look forward to possibly getting more in the future. I can't wait to see what kind of artists kind of join up here.
And what you're seeing here are tattoos, I think, that were already performed onto the skin. Oh yeah. Okay, I think that's a video. I think maybe you should go and look at the videos on your own, just in case I end up getting another copyright strike. So I don't think I'll be playing any of the footage that I don't own from their website. And yeah, I do think you should go and check out their Shark Tank episode. I think it's available on even on YouTube. Yeah, it's quite interesting. You see all the tattoos that were done by the machine itself, and then you can even get to see the machine in action. This is it's Tyler Hobbs. Apparently he's a He's some sort of a graphical artist who partnered up with Blackdot to supply them with like art that they could then license and sell. The idea was kind of neat and is kind of neat that if you're an artist who's producing art and you want a way to scale the kind of designs that you produce, you can have them licensed and performed by the Blackdot device.
My name is Tyler Hobbs. I'm a generative artist. I make artwork using code and algorithms. The project that I'm best known for is definitely Fidenza. It was one algorithm that generated a set of 999 NFTs, and this was all sort of native to the blockchain. So the very code that generates the images is written to the blockchain forever. First started talking to Blackdot in late 2021, and they told me essentially that they were, starting to develop a device that could execute tattoos, but it was really similar to, in a lot of ways, to a plotter, which is a tool that I've worked with for a long time. And when I first started to see what their technology could do, what the Blackdot device could do, it was just mind-blowing, the level of precision and detail that it was able to achieve. And so I was really interested in artistically, what could be done with tattoos using something like the Blackdot device. It just seemed like such a natural fit. This blend of the digital and the human, combining sort of man and machine in a way, is just really a big passion of mine artistically. And so the opportunity to work with Blackdot was really exciting to me. I'm always really fascinated in the ways that taking these kind of like digital algorithmic designs and translating them into the physical world, it always gives them a certain warmth. And the skin is just, it's this really interesting medium. And I love the way that it transforms the lines and the fills, and it gives them a real particular quality. I think Blackdot has shown up at exactly the right time to really bring some of these ideas into tattooing, into something that's really personal. And I think people will be really open to exploring this new form of tattooing
Anywhere in the world. So it's the first way to really scale the kind of work that we do. But then it also came at the same time where generative art also came into the game. And I don't say this as a doom and gloom, I just say it's competitive. But I think machines will never really be able to capture the essence of what makes a human. Or maybe that's just wishful thinking. I have bias because I'm playing for the human team, I guess. So yeah, it's I got distracted there. But yeah, so I don't know how well the idea of licensing is really going to play out now.
Hello, I'm John Craig. In 1995, I was approached about doing some album cover illustrations for the band Smashing Pumpkins. This was for the double CD, Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. The star nymph from that cover continues to reappear from time to time, as though she is in orbit around our planet. This time, she has landed into a place called Blackdot. I've always been fascinated with and participate in the art of popular culture in all forms, now including tattoo art. Now there's a new device, an invention that makes Blackdot the state-of-the-art of the tattoo. I wonder where she will go from here.
Hardly any people know about the company, and when I heard about it, I thought it was quite interesting, and it was an opportunity to scale for many artists out there. And yeah, I think it still is. I think you should definitely check it out, see what else they have to. Okay, so this is the founding CEO. Is a tattoo collectors. I guess they have a few stories where these guys are sharing what they think about the project and the initiative. I think you should go and check it out, see what insights they have.
The idea of a custom design tattoo.
To me, the idea of a one-of-one design obviously is probably one of the most important parts of the process.
The idea of not just a tattoo artist, but a graphic artist or an artist in its own right, being able to work with them and create a piece that's truly unique and truly meaningful to you, and have it executed perfectly, I think is an ingenious idea.
You've got like an execution level that maybe you can't find from a specific artist, where knowing, like going through like a certified artist through Blackdot, you know that's what you're going to expect from it.
Yeah.
Say you have an artist really far away from you, or one that does never tattooed before, and being able to collaborate with them, decide exactly what the tattoo would look like, where it will go, but then cutting out the part where I have to buy $1,000 plane ticket and cross the whole country. Like that's a really great idea. Like I would be on board for that.
Working with an artist one-on-one to get a custom design is such a special experience. And I've been able to do it a couple of times. Doing that with the Blackdot device would be amazing.
So Blackdot's story, back when I first looked at it, that the roadmap from the point where the company was started, I think it was back in 2015, I think. And then they were putting out like the entire timeline where when they got their first patent, when they raised the first round of funding, and where they got the first Blackdot device to perform, the first trial, and how those black dots looked. There were a few blowouts in the first versions, but then they managed to deal with it somehow in the next generation, and they started introducing like gray scales and the designs were getting bigger and bigger. And I think that's what they put in this book. So I didn't know that this section was now occupied by the book. I think that's what the book is about. So it's about the road to the tattoo revolution. I do think that like some players within the tattoo space are the ones who should have been like championing a revolution like this or something like this. It's yeah, I don't think innovation should ever come from the outside of an industry. It would be misaligned, I think, with whatever. But then they're definitely answering a market call. So I guess to an extent, we would have to fault ourselves as an industry for not answering the simple fact that we have kind of made tattooing about tattoo artists and forget that the industry exists because of the money that people who want to get tattooed are spending. So it's the clients who make the industry and not necessarily the artists. And I think we have a situation where, because we haven't seen it like that, innovation is coming from people who are answering the market's demands. Because from one of the videos I was watching, the CEO, Joel Pennington, I think is his name, that's how you spell it, Joel Pennington, yeah. He was saying that he came from a coffee making background, but then he also saw that everyone was coming to get coffee by him. They were all wearing tattoos, and when they started telling him how much they're actually spending on these tattoos, he was intrigued, and that's what sort of sparked everything. And then from there, he also got to realize that there's a really high demand for fine line, like really detailed designs. And it's not always practical to get the kind of artists that you want when you want them, even though you're ready to pay, because the people who are skilled enough to execute some of the really fine work that can be done out there are not always available. Sometimes you have to book and wait for months. That, from a client's perspective, is not necessarily a good thing. And I think as tattoo artists, you kind of need to be aware that there are people who are trying or will try to solve that pain point for clients within the tattoo space. Obviously, if you're fully booked out for months because people genuinely just want to get tattooed by you, then maybe you are exempt from this. But then for some, I think for a significant portion of the client base, they're waiting because they want good work, and they would go where good work is done if it could be done in a more convenient and maybe faster way with less pain. So yeah, it's an interesting development in the tattooing space. And yeah, so this is what the device looks like. It's about 1.5 meters high and is the first and safe offering, and it offers less discomfort and more possibilities. Skin behaves differently on different parts of the body. They completely understood that. And I think this would be the main reservation that a lot of artists would have, that the skin is so dynamic, something like this wouldn't ever possibly work. But they seem to have and gotten it to work. And yeah, and apparently they have a patent on all the technology that they've developed. So this is what it would look like. It looks like a huge industrial machine that would perform some serious medical procedure. It's a bit scary. I don't think it would like remain like this. And the capabilities beyond the human hand. But what about the human hand? The human hand's lives matters. With a wide grayscale range, and so the way that it works is that it creates the design using micro dots, and that's why it's called black dot, because it produces the design through a series of dots. If you know how like a plot printer, like a dot matrix printer, how it works with just putting those dots together to make an image, it's basically how it does it. And it does it with such really fine needles that it's able to achieve accuracy that even impressed me. So yeah, they're calling for investment. So if you think this is an interesting project and you'd like to invest or learn more about it, I really recommend that you visit their website and check out their Shark Tank episode. Maybe I can put a link of it in the description below. That shouldn't give me any strikes, I hope. Yeah, but yeah, I'm scared of anything to do with Shark Tank and stuff. I don't even know if I can say the word, so I don't know. Anyway, I hope that was a little bit informative. And yeah, let me know what you think about Blackdot and what they're doing. I think innovation is coming, and it's coming into the tattoo industry because if you look at the team behind Blackdot, they don't have any experience in the tattooing space. And I think maybe what stifles innovation in tattooing is that the people who should be at the forefront are comfortable with the way things are and what they're able to get. So it's like innovation is coming from the outside. If anything, let this be motivation to you if you are in the industry to see where innovation could be it could be like where we can add in innovation, just like any other industry. And I think if innovation comes from within the industry and from industry players, I think it would be that much better. And I think it would preserve a lot. I was going to say it was going to preserve a lot of culture, but then I started thinking of the wording that I need to use there. I couldn't come up with anything. So I'm going to end it at that. Please, yeah, let me know what other videos you'd like to see and what you thought about this one. Would you get a tattoo from a robot? Would you get a tattoo from a black dot device? I have a feeling that the eventual versions that are going to end up going out there might not even be black dot. Maybe their technology and what they've developed can be replicated, but I guess we'll just wait and see. I will update you if I hear about anything. I think I've put them back on my radar, and I'd love to see what they come up with next.